Right, morning and welcome to this week's session, which is on rounding numbers. We're going to start by rounding to the nearest 10, the nearest 100 and the nearest 1,000. And then we're going to go ahead and look to see what happens on the other side of the decimal point, rounding to the nearest tenth and the nearest whole number. So let's start with tens. Let's take any number. Let's start with something like 67. Okay, I'm going to put our units, tens and hundreds just here, just to remind us. Now, if we're rounding any number to the nearest 10, the number we're interested in is a one column to the right. So in this case, if we're rounding to the nearest 10, we're looking at the units column. Okay, so always travel one to the right and look at that, the number in that units column. If that number is 5 or above, then we round up. If that number is 4 or below, then we round down. So essentially we're saying, is 67 nearer to 60 or 50? Okay, because this 7 is 5 or above, we round up to 70. So 67 rounds to 70. If we have a number like 43, is 43 nearer to 40 or 50? Rounding is an approximation, so is it nearer to 40 or 50? We move one figure to the right, so we look at the 3. If the 3 is 5 or above, we go up. 4 or below, we go down. So because it's a 3, we're rounding down to 40. So 43 comes to 40. Okay, let's go to the centre. So a number like 15. Okay, again, we're approximating. So 15, is 15 nearer to 10 or 20? We're going to move one space to the right, look at the units number. That is a 5. If it's 5 or above, we round up. So in this case, 15 goes to 20. Nearly fooled myself there. Okay, are we happy with that? Great, so let's move on and look at rounding to the nearest 100. Turn over. So let's pop up our columns again. Units, tens, hundreds, thousands. That'll do us, I think, to start. In we go, and let's start with a number. So 846. Okay, so 846, we're rounding to the nearest 100. So we're saying, is this number nearer to 800 or 900? So we go one column to the right, we look at this 4 here, 5 or above, we round up to 900, 4 or below, we round down to 800. So because it's 40, we're going to go down to 800. Okay, so 846 goes to 800, rounded to the nearest 100. Okay, let's try another one. Let's go for 372. 372, we're rounding to the nearest 100. We move one column to the right, look at the 7, that's 5 or above. So is this number nearer to 300 or 400? Because this 7 pushes it up and it rounds to 400. Let's take a bigger number. So if we take 9,265, okay, we are rounding to the nearest 100. So in this case, we're saying this number, is it nearer to 9,200 or nearer to 9,300? Move one column to the right, look at the 6. It's a 5 or above, so we're going to round up to 300. 9,265 becomes 9,300 when rounded to the nearest 100. Okay? Let's move on and we'll round to the nearest 1,000. So we're doing the same thing again. Units, tens, hundreds, thousands. Let's put some tens of thousands in this time. There we go. And we're going to be rounding rounding to the nearest 1,000. So we're going to be looking to one column to the right. So we're going to be looking at the hundreds column this time that will cause the tip over. So let's pop some numbers in. Let's say 33,642. Okay, so we're rounding to the nearest 1,000. So we're saying, is this number nearer to 33,000 or 34,000? So the number that we're really interested in is one column to the right in the hundreds column. We're going to say, is this number 5 or above? We're going to tip over into 34,000. 4 or below, we're going to stick at 33,000. Because it's a 6, 33,642 means we're nearer to 34,000. Okay, rounded to the nearest 1,000. Let's do one more. Let's say 97,555. Oh, I love that number. So, 97,555. We're saying, is this number nearer to 97,000? Oh, I've popped out of shot there. Is it nearer? I'll turn around. Whoa. Is it nearer to 97,000 or 98,000? Okay, we move one column to the right. Check out this 5. It's right on the cusp, isn't it? We know that if it's 5 or above, we're going to go up to the next 1,000. So 97,000 will tip over when rounded to the nearest 1,000 to 98. Leave the gap, 1,000. I hope that makes sense. Okay?